Alright all, and welcome back to a new video in the Day 6 preview of the Galway Festival, and added in a couple of Day 5 selections from a glorious Goodwood. As you can tell, it's been a pretty bruising week, there's no getting away from that, I can only apologise. Overall, it had been a good July, over on Twitter, it had been a very good July, and it still has been, with which bookie overall still up. And up by quite a bit, but this last couple of days has been hard, and I haven't got Goodwood right at all. I haven't got the Mullins horses right at Galway at all, and it just led to a pretty poor week in the end, which is not what I was hoping for. A couple of really bad days in there. Yesterday wasn't even the worst, probably a couple of points down. We obviously had Purple Mountain, who was very fortuitous, shouldn't have won, but did win because of a last flight fall. Hallowed Star got up on the line, which was again a little bit fortuitous, and then we had a couple of near misses. Armax I thought was very unlucky actually. He ended up coming third at 22-1, but he got badly hampered at a number of crucial stages, and you know, I suppose it might have been what might have been moment, but these things happen. That's horse racing, and it just hasn't been our week. We've had very good festivals over the likes of Punchestown, Cheltenham. We were bound to have a bad one at some stage, and it's come in the middle of summer with these, with both Galway and Goodwood put together. Anyway, we're going to keep trying hard here. Actually, what's been the most disappointing thing is my two flash days at Galway have actually been almost better than the jumps days, so hopefully the return to flash can spark about something for myself, starting off with the 1250 at Galway, a maiden, which I'm going to try Buckaroo in this for Joseph O'Brien and Shane Cross at 9-4. I know Aidan O'Brien's got a healthy favourite in there. It's hard to know though how these O'Brien horses are running, and I'd be willing enough to take him on. He ran a decent enough race when third at Leopardstown, but I'm not sure about the form of that race. The Jim Bulger horse came through and won it in the end, who'd been beaten a couple of times before that. Cantor as well had ran poorly for Joseph O'Brien, so I wasn't sure about the form, and even though he will come on, I'm not sure I'd be wanting to get involved at really short odds. And Buckaroo came third at Killarney. It was a performance full of promise. He was out the back early, he was very green and stormed home, so hopefully he can run very well. The 125, I really like Sherkin Island in this for Dermot Weld and Colin Keane. He's 7-4. He's just about taken favouritism from Mark Titian, and I do believe he should be favoured. I thought it was a really good effort when third at the Curragh debut over a mile 2. Steps back down to the extended mile today, but that maiden was won by Citronade, no less, who was then thrown out in the steward's room, and he was awarded a Wild Dollar. But Citronade's won a maiden and then won at Galway on Monday for us. One of the rare bright sparks of Galway for me this week. But that form looks pretty robust. He's sure to improve from that, and you think with Dermot Weld being so good around here that this horse will be primed and ready to go and win a race. The 2 o'clock big mile handicap, I'm going to take a chance on Coill Na Soinainne here for Willie McCreary and Billy Lee, currently 12-1. I think there's a decent enough each way bet for this filly, who's progressed from a rating of 46 to 78 this year, so perhaps she's just handicapped out of it, and she was well beaten in a Premier handicap at the Curragh a couple of weeks ago, sorry, by Sir Jack Thomas, but he's gone on obviously to win the big mile race at Galway this week. I think this is a slight ease in grade, and it'll be interesting to see whether there is just a hint more improvement. I believe there might be a couple more pounds in the bank, and maybe she might be able to show that for her. She's not badly drawn as well. At 12-1, I'd take that chance each way. The 235, a horse I've been kind of following a little bit over a cliff, because I just feel there should be a win in her, is Joe March, and I'm going to give her one more chance here. She's 6-1. She's poorly drawn out in 15, and she can sometimes start slowly, which would be, you know, things to just bear in mind if you are thinking of coming in with me and backing her. But she has the ability. There's no doubt she's well handicapped, I believe, off some of her best runs even at Dundalk. I just can't help but think that there's a handicap, you know, waiting for her somewhere, and I think it might be today. The 313, an incentive race, I'm going to be backing Nectaris in this. I didn't think I'd be able to put him up because I thought he'd be odds on. He's drifted out to 5-4, and that'll be my nap of the day, and hopefully he can do the job for Jesse Harrington and Shane Foley. Second on maiden before third in a really good conditions race since then. Drops back in grade here. it is an incentive maiden, and also there's just a couple of horses in here that don't have much form to talk home about. So he should be getting the job done today. I'd be disappointed if he doesn't at 5-4. The 348, a nursery handicap over 7 furlongs. I'm going to take a chance here on It'll Do My Day for Mick Mulvaney, who usually runs his juveniles an awful lot. And this horse actually beat the very good Castle Star earlier this year. Hasn't been cited since, really, in better races, and Castle Star has obviously gone on to reverse that form a couple of times with It'll Do My Day. But steps into a nursery here, steps up to 7 furlongs, and I've seen stranger things happen than a Mick Mulvaney horse suddenly come back to the party when put into handicap company. It's 20-1. I think it's too big. I'll take a chance. The 420, one of my stronger bets of the day, the mile 4 furlong handicap, a horse called Bolivar here for Paddy Toomey and Billy Lee. Right at the top of the weights off a mark of 104, but could be just too good for this grade. Second to Barrington Court last autumn in a back-end listed race at Naas, and was a very good 6th even behind Rev Deval and Patrick Sarsfield in the Orby Stakes at the Curragh at the start of June. It'd be a little bit of a, not disappointment, but you'd be slightly wondering why he hasn't run since then. So maybe it has been a little bit hard. Maybe he might need the run to a certain degree, but mile 4 shouldn't suit, or should suit, based off his form so far. He's the class act in the race, and at 17-2, I think he's a worthwhile each way price. The 450, another mile 4 furlong handicap, this time for 50 to 70s, and I'm going to take Will Go Again for Andrew Kinnerans at 6-1. Won a couple of times last year. He's been decent this year on the flat and over hurdles. Very consistent. Should be bang there at 6-1. It's a pretty good each way bet, I suspect. And on to Goodwood. I know some people will tell me I probably shouldn't be backing at Goodwood. Fair enough. But I'm going to back 3 in this card and hope for the best. The 230, a big mile 6 furlong handicap. Win O'Clock here for Roger Charlton and William Buick at 10-1. Loves a bit of softer ground. And I know it's slightly drying up at Goodwood, but it's kind of that weird tacky ground now where it's going towards good, but you get a bit of stickiness in between, and that will actually suit this horse. It doesn't suit everyone, but Win O'Clock is handicapped to potentially win a race of this nature, and at 10-1 I'll take that chance. The 305, the big Lily Langtry Stakes over a mile 6 furlongs. I was tempted to put up something in the without market, but I just decided, just on the off chance that Wonderful Tonight doesn't perform, and that is an off chance, I think she will win, and she'll win comfortably, but I'm going to back Believe in Love each way. I put her up when she won at Leopardstown there a couple of weeks ago, when Ronan Whelan rode her for Roger Varian, and she absolutely hacked up in a decent enough Group 3. She returns to Group 2 level here, but Ray Dawson takes the ride. I think she's got a squeak in this, and at 10-1 I'm going to back her like that rather than 7-2 without Wonderful Tonight. Whether you agree with me on that, I'm not so sure. But just in case Wonderful Tonight wasn't to perform, she might be the one, sweeping up the breadcrumbs. And the 445, the last race on the card at Goodwood, the Whipmaster for Gary Moore at 10-1, a progressive sort. Looks like there might still be a few pounds in hand. Also, a young £7 claimer takes weight off and could well go well at a decent price of 10-1. So 3 10-1 shots there at Goodwood from 3 selections. Anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I hope you're keeping the faith throughout the weekend. Hopefully we can turn the corner at some stage. Or maybe it's going to take until we just leave Galway and Goodwood behind and maybe get back onto the national hunt action in the next couple of weeks. But anyway, hope you stay safe, stay well, land a few bets. Let me know what your selections are for today's card at Galway, and let me know how you've got on throughout the week. I've had a bit of a bloodbath, and let me know how you guys have got on, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning for the final day of Galway, and hopefully a better one.